Are you sick and tired of coughing up nasty, brown, smelly mucus out of your lungs? Are you sick and tired of spending your days blowing your nose, getting all of this nasty, smelly, sticky snot out of your body? Well, today I have something special for you. We're gonna help you remove this mucus out of your body. I'm gonna show you how to do it. This is actually something I recorded a little while ago, back around 2019. In the before times, I recorded a series of videos and I'm now getting around to putting them out. Very, very important information, how to remove mucus from your body. And before we get to that, I want you to take a look down below, click the link. You're gonna wanna sign up for our Insiders Club. When you sign up, you get 5 free recipes that will help you learn how to eliminate and remove mucus from your body. Download these, get started today. This is not something that you have to wait a long time to get going. You can get started right now removing mucus from your body. I'm Professor Spira. Practice something called the Mucusless Diet Healing System for over 19 years. I've helped thousands of people transform their lives using the methods of the Mucusless Diet Healing System, and I want to share that with you today. So stay tuned. Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm Professor Spira, and today I want to talk about how to remove mucus from the body. This is a popular topic. Why? Because
that's not normal.
Excess mucus is a very common symptom that all of us, almost all of us, have experienced. I don't personally know anybody that hasn't had a stuffy nose or coughed up mucus or got cold and flu-like symptoms, got a fever, or coughing up the brown mucus. You got the green mucus, you got the clear mucus, stuff in your nose, waking up, coughing, blowing your nose. You got crusty eyes. When I was young, I used to wake up. It was terrifying. I used to wake up and my eyes would be crusted. Totally crusted, and I would have to, as my eyes were shut, I couldn't just open them. I'd have to go into the bathroom, put water on my eyes and soap, and then slowly I could open my eyes. It's not supposed to be like that. Our bodies are not supposed to get that bad. It's not supposed to be that constipated to the point where we're waking up and our eyes are crusted shut. As the body gets really encumbered after having been on an improper diet, a very unnatural diet filled with mucus-forming foods, pus and mucus-forming foods, dead animal flesh, dairy, grains and starches, a lot of processed stuff, particularly processed grains and starches. Over time, doesn't happen overnight, over time the body gets more and more encumbered, and as it does, then eventually the body is going to have some kind of intense period to try to push out some of this waste. We call it sickness. People get sad about it, and in modern times do some of the worst stuff that you could ever do when you get sick or you go through an elimination, as we call it. We say go through elimination. Well, the worst thing you could ever do is to go and get some pharmaceutical medication that's a suppressant, cough suppressant, something that suppresses the elimination of this mucus. What's a lot better is if you do go in that type of situation, first and foremost, you want to stop putting in mucus-forming foods.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Stop it. Get some help.
So most people know that when you drink certain things like dairy products, the milks and all this kind of stuff, this old nasty stuff that you buy at the store, the cheese that smells like feet, and you know, just all this stuff that the humans were never supposed to start eating. People sometimes will notice that there is an immediate mucus response, but this ends up causing a lot of confusion where people think that anything that you put in your body, if you have this mucosal response, this secretion of mucus, that item that you ate caused that. That's not how this all works. When we talk about mucus-forming foods, we really want to focus on the element that is the food degrading into slime, slimy substance. The example I always like to say is, if you have a piece of bread, take a piece of white bread, put it in water for 3 hours and just let that sit there. Take some grapes, put that in water for 3 hours and let that sit there. Then when you come back to it, see which one you think is mucus forming. Which one degrades into mucus. That white bread is just going to be a gluey, slimy, sloppy mess that you probably aren't going to want to eat. The grapes are going to be fine. I mean, the grapes will float in water, but even if you chewed them up first and put them in the water, they're not going to degrade into slime. So things like fruit, you could do another test where you cook the item. Take a soggy piece of bread in some water and cook it for a long period of time at a certain temperature, say 98 degrees. Take some fruit and cook that the same way, and the fruit might turn into syrup. It's not going to turn into slime. If you cook stuff like rice, bread, take that pizza, then take whatever you would have on a full meal. The big old mixtures of all these crazy mixtures of, you got your alcohol or your beer with the drink, big pizza, maybe some breadsticks, throw in a salad that's just drenched with some kind of dairy dressing or something. You know, you mix all this stuff together, and no wonder our bodies are out of whack. I mean, it's so confusing. The body's like, what, why are you mixing all this stuff together? This wasn't, your ancestors didn't mix stuff together like that, even when they did eat improperly. We don't even have to go back that far to when that type of insane mixing of foods was not prevalent. I mean, just a couple generations ago, all of this fast food stuff, all this kind of nonsense wasn't around yet. So even with families that ate meat and drank dairy, unless they were on a farm, they might not have did it every day. You know, a lot of folks didn't have a lot of money. They might have ate meat once a week or something, and it was like a small amount because they had a family of 8, 9 people. Everybody had to share. And so we're in a whole different time, but we got to understand this history. I'm a huge advocate of understand the history of your stomach. Look and analyze the history of your stomach, and that's going to better put into perspective the kind of work that we need to do and what we're dealing with. So in terms of eliminating mucus from the body, first and foremost, I recommend you got to read Mucusless Diet Healing System by Professor Arnold Ehret. When you read this book, you don't need to agree with everything in here. It's not a lot of the philosophical stuff. Take it in and just observe it. Try to be objective. Try to just kind of say, okay, and just go on the journey. You know, this is a different type of experience reading this book. It's not going to tell you exactly every little thing that you need to do. It's going to give you principles, an overview, and a perspective that if you adopt it and you start to apply the principles, it can totally change your life. In there, we got the list of mucus-forming foods, and not all mucus-forming foods are created equal. Some are a lot worse than others. So there's some that you want to get off of immediately or as soon as you can, and others you could use as transitional items for indefinite periods of time. With that said, a huge part of this is the system. That's that word right there, system. That's key. So important. Mucusless Diet Healing System, and it's a piece that a lot of people ignore, they miss, or they just misunderstand because they're so preoccupied with what foods cause mucus, what foods do this and that, how much nutrition is in this item and all that kind of stuff. We don't get into none of that. We're saying you're either doing one of two things when you eat. Every time you eat, you're either putting in stuff that's going to turn into slime residue, possibly not be able to eliminate well or digest well, or you're putting in something that's going to help eliminate, that is sometimes neutralizing the poisonous waste or bringing it to the surface so that it can be urinated out or sweated out or coughed out or sneezed out or whatever. Is an elimination paradigm. That's a thing a lot of people have trouble letting go of, a preoccupation with the nutrition concept, in the thing that this sort of overemphasis on we need all these different things. Whereas, I mean, there's so many commercials, you know, that you'll see, part of a balanced diet and this and that, and you can do, and get your vitamin C and A and D and B12s and this and that, you know, it's just all day. But very rarely, especially not with food, you'll never see a commercial where they're talking about, and hit these lemons to help you eliminate better. You know, let's put this fresh lemons, put it in your enema, your distilled water and lemon juice enema. You know what I mean? They don't focus on elimination. Their focus is again on consumption, the consumer. Put in, what else can we put in? How about asking, what can we eliminate? What don't we need? What don't we need? We don't need a bunch of mucus-forming foods that's just gonna wreak havoc on the inside of our body. It's unnecessary. It's causes complications. Transition diet, so important, so important. And you have to understand that you got to figure out what it is for you. What's the best transitional approach? The principles are the same for all of us, but the way that we apply those principles is going to be unique for each person based on your physiology. First and foremost, transition diet, mucusless diet. Start getting away from the mucus-forming foods. Short-term fasting. Then the lemon juice and distilled water enemas. Super important, especially early on. I mean, you'll see gobs and gobs of mucus can come out of your body. Can't just do one of those things by themselves. It's about the system. You incorporate the juicing with the enemas, with the mucus-free foods, and you learn how to systematically apply these things together, and that's what leads you to some really serious transformation that can just take you to a whole different level. Do some juicing, make some mucus-free foods, go to farmer's market, get you some good fresh fruits and vegetables, enjoy yourself, enjoy the sun. If it's not sun, you enjoy the rain, enjoy the clouds, enjoy the air. Just be thankful, show gratitude for nature, and really try to connect with your surroundings, with the earth. And the more that you transform and you stay connected, is going to change everything. Everything around you transforms. And that includes people and the people that's around you, and even existing people. They can't help but change, because it's how you can transform the world. First and foremost, you transform yourself and watch everything around you start to change. So until next time, this is Professor Spira. Peace, love, and breath. I hope that you found this video very, very helpful. And before you leave, we have a lot more videos for you to watch. I want you to look right here, click right here. This is another video that I made specifically for you to help you along your path. Click this right here, and I will see you over there.